Hello, grade 8s. Our next unit of study in world history is going to be World War I, also known as the Great War. So we're jumping ahead into the 20th century, and we are going to talk about a bunch of things about World War I. I will show you a few of them and then ask you guys to make your own title page for this new unit. So the first thing we're going to discuss when talking about this war are the reasons. Why did it happen? What are the different causes? And there are a few to go over. So it didn't happen just because of one thing. It happened because of a bunch of things happened around the same time. And we're going to learn about what those were. Secondly, we are going to talk about the outbreak of war. Who was prepared? Who wasn't prepared? Who was involved? There are a bunch of different countries coming at this time and a bunch of different colonies which are joining in as well. So we're going to talk about all those events, how people felt, what were the reactions, and things like that. The third thing we're definitely going to discuss a few different battles. So there are a bunch of really important battles which you might have heard of. And we're also going to talk about trench warfare. Some of this stuff you might remember from our poetry unit in language and literature. We're going to discuss how uncomfortable trenches were, different diseases you could catch, what life was like living in those, being expected to go into battle at any moment, things like that. So war, as people have known it, has completely changed, and we're going to talk about all those changes, and different soldiers and uniforms and things like that. So that will be lots of fun. And the last thing we will discuss, maybe you've heard of, it's called the Treaty of Versailles, and it is the treaty that ended the Great War. So we are going to talk about all the different people that were involved, what the treaty asked for of the losing side, and maybe what the treaty led to later in the 20th century. So we know that the Great War is not going to be the last world war. And maybe the Treaty of Versailles and the fact that it was so harsh has something to do with that. Thinking of these four things I've just sort of outlined for you: the causes, the outbreak, battles and trenches, and the end of the war, I would like you to create a title page for this new unit. If you have a notebook, you can just pop it in, draw it on a blank page. If you do not have a notebook, just grab a blank piece of printer paper. You can hole punch it. And I would like you to ensure you include the title, which of course is World War I. If you want to write down the Great War, that's fine. I would like you to use lots of color in this. And of course, pictures. You can draw your own. Feel free to Google some and print some out if you'd like to. You can flip through your textbook. You can get some ideas. You probably know a lot about this war already. You can draw poppies, you can draw guns, whatever you like. Nothing too morbid, of course. Please have this finished for Thursday. All right, thanks, guys.